Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So the more you chant with us and chant alone, chant together with devotees, and, like this, the more you'll see everybody, everybody will see that there's nothing more auspicious than the name of Krishna. Literally. It is so, it's the spotless glory of this world. It's the crown jewel on this world. It's the only thing that has any purity that's in this world is this name, so easily accessible and chanted. Everybody going on Sankirtan during the day is doing the best welfare work. You know, you can build so many hospitals, you know, but person who's chanting the holy name, especially when they start chanting in ecstasy, chanting with bliss, you know, taste, uh, is doing better welfare work than a person building hospitals, because that building hospitals is a pious activity and can give you elevation to the, you know, better situation in the celestial realm, better response in the world. But this chanting the holy name with taste and bliss especially, it gives a purification to the world that is not attained by pious activity, not attained by renunciation, not attained by austerity, not attained by sadhana. Okay? When you're chanting under the association of devotees empowered here, and you start to get that, it just becomes natural. You start to see you creating auspiciousness for yourself and others simply by taking shelter of the name and surrendering to the name of God. You know, and doing that publicly, you're just benefiting the whole world. You know, so much. And the Lord has given us that jewel in our hands to do that work, that service. Okay? So you don't want to be daunted because it's so pure, the name, that it brings out the kalyas and the putanas, you know, and they getting purified also. And that's part of it. You know, in us, in ourselves, and others, they come out. You know, so, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. When you chant with full attention. Really be there, attentively hearing the name, and surrendering to the name. You know. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And then very soon, ecstatic emotion will arise. You start to feel the ecstasy in the name. It's literally Krishna rising in the heart. Hare, bringing tears to the eyes and other emotional transformations of the body. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So we'll read some Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So we were reading yesterday, Lord Krishna fights Banasura. And anyway, the fight is engaged, and Krishna's fighting Banasura and the armies and all that stuff. So I'll pick up where we left off. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyanati Madandasya Gyanangana Salakya Chakshur Milastamyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. You know, I was just thinking, you know, like how much we need this knowledge. You know, so, you know, there are devotees who are awakening. Like I have some nice gentleman came yesterday, was telling me a story, and he was, you know, Raganuga Bhakta, just naturally doesn't know it, doesn't have the knowledge, you know, it just have some ecstasy, you see. So and that's the way I was pretty much when hey Dad, I was wondering where you were. So anyway, that was pretty much how I was also. I was ecstatic. And that's how a lot of Christians are too, the ecstatic ones, they're ecstatic. So I come, and these people are coming now, and I think a lot of you that are awakening can relate to this, is you're ecstatic now, but we need the knowledge. We need the knowledge portion. See, there's the Ananda portion and the knowledge portion. And so just by, if you're fortunate, then you have the association of living devotee that's more mature in their bhakti, you know, in their knowledge and their ananda. You know, from a lot of this understanding comes from a lot of ecstatic worship. But unless you have knowledge, it's very easy to get deviated by the putanas and kalyas, you know, and then you get kind of in an obstacle, and that may take a while to get clear of. So your progress is hit and miss. I mean, that's how it was for me. And it took many years to figure out certain things. I had Prabhupada's book, had life experience. See, so we're all more or less going through that type of learning experience. And so anyway, our Sangha here is an opportunity for those who are suited for the Raganuga path, and they're not critical, you know, of what they don't understand, you know, and just feel that I belong here. It's a way to kind of learn, get the knowledge, because it's in Prabhupada's books, and what we need to do is to hear it from the devotees also. That helps. And also read it ourselves, chant the verses outside, so we start to get more realization, because that's how it comes. It also comes from hearing from the bona fide spiritual master, empowered to give this knowledge, you know, and kind of get us going, and to the point where you're not like you're not taken down by the putanas in the world, hypocrites, liars, cheaters. You know, there's a lot of that. I mean, this is the Lord's Maya, man, you know. A lot of illusions here. You know, people call it the devil if they're Christians, but it's Maya. There's a lot of illusion, a lot of darkness everywhere. It's easy to mistake the mode of goodness or celestial stuff as pure bhakti. You know, that has to be discerned out. So you get a lot of this benefit from, if you find a living devotee. Like Prabhupada understood this he understood it clearly. He even said in one of his purports, it's by the book Bhagavat and or the devotee Bhagavat that all the obstacles can be removed to devotional service. Now this and or is a very important thing, is because if you just use Prabhupada's books, and you're trying to get over these obstacles, and you're not an ecstatic devotee, it's gonna take you a lot longer, and you'll probably die without devotion and start, some more progress in your next life. But if you're fortunate and you get the book Bhagavat, which we have in Prabhupada's books, and you get the devotee Bhagavat, see? So the devotee Bhagavat is a person who is more mature in their bhakti and is an ecstatic devotee and a knowledgeable devotee. See? And by the action, see, it's along the verses. This is how practically people will be delivered in this life. It's chapter 1 of Chaitanya Charitamrita, verse 98 through 100. It's by the action of the book Bhagavat, which is true knowledge coming from ecstatic devotees, mature devotees, and the devotee Bhagavat, the living person in this world that's alive with this bhakti. You can see it, man. You can hear about it. They explain many things that are in the book Bhagavat that are very difficult to understand. When you have those two together, man, you'll get bhakti in this life if you're really sincere. Look at those. Look at persons like Johan and River Yamuna, how they're really, they're really into it, man. They're just, these are the examples. I mean, there are others here also. I just point out what's prominent right in my mind right now. So don't think, oh, you left me out. No. Anyway, just look at whatever I'm saying. There's others like that. They just stand out in this stream of thought, okay, like Johan and River Yamuna, really like, hey, man, this is Krishna knows the heart, man. Yeah, they say, yeah, I'm really Krishna is my life. I really want Krishna. This is my path. You see, when you start like that, when you become like that, then you start to become really ecstatic, really enthusiastic, really, you start to feel this bliss, and of doing devotional service. You become a trusted servant of Guru and Krishna. See? And that's it, man. You're not just caught up in the hypocrisies of being a hypocrite. Yeah, I'm sort of in this and sort of out of this. Really, like, all my eggs are in this basket. And so anyway, people, you can learn from examples like that because the fruits show in the person's devotional service. They're really enthusiastic about it. They really like it. It's their surrender to it, and they become ecstatic because of that. Okay? Surrender to Guru and Krishna. They praise their Guru. They're not into this, well, let me just forget to thank you very much. I'll just go directly to Krishna. They're praising Guru and Krishna. So if anybody wants to be a real preacher here, really representing the Parampara and Krishna, you follow in the footsteps of these kind of devotees. It's just, I don't tell them, I just comment. I say, yeah, you see, this is the right path, man. This is, you're worshiping properly Guru and Krishna, because it's by the action of Guru and Krishna. And otherwise, it's very slow. I mean, you could have Prabhupada's books, and you'll probably die a materialistic Vaishnava, and then start more in the next life. But when you get the living Bhagavat, the devotee empowered to deliver others and the book together, man, boom, that's deliverance. That's the way it was with Srinivas, Narottam, Thakur. It even says in Bhakti Ratnakara, Srinivas was just smashing all kinds of atheists, liars, cheaters, hypocritically devout persons with the clear explanations of the Bhagavatam, just like we do. Here, okay? When you become a devotee and devotion begins to awaken in your heart, you become clear and you become logical. You don't have to know a bunch of Sanskrit verses. You just become very clear and logical, and that's what people need to be delivered. They need to see clearly. They need their eyes opened, right? Devotion opens the eyes. And until that's happened, you need to hear from a bona fide guru. Okay? And then you'll want to hear anyway, because it's the most wonderful thing. Wonderful thing is to hear from devotees, Vaishnavas, who are relishing bhakti, relishing the choice verses of the conclusive truth. So Freddie says, some say that you have to give up knowledge to experience deeper love. Again, you see, this is a good example of all the friggin' speculators in the world who try to put themselves up as authorities, and they twist everything naturally and twist and turn and juggle, and that's all they can do. That is not an experienced conclusion at all. That is so inconclusive that that is an offense. There's an offense in that, saying that, when actually the conclusive truth is the Lord is Sat, eternal, and he's Chit, full of knowledge. What is it? Why does he say he's full of knowledge? That's the part of the potency. And Ananda. Give up what? The knowledge? And that is the whole problem, is people don't have the knowledge portion, which is Prabhupada's books. See? And they also need the Ananda portion, which you get by the association of the devotee. You get both, actually. You get the devotion awakened, and you get the knowledge too awakened. See? So this is a speculator. This is somebody who's not a realized person saying that. Give up knowledge. We need them. Why do you Prabhupada write these books full of knowledge, man? Important knowledge, and it's not just knowledge, it's transcendental knowledge. It's knowledge that leads to devotion to Krishna. Without it, the Putam will come and attack you and put you down. Without this knowledge, Kalya Lake, you'll be drinking from that. This is drinking from the Kalya Lake, right there, right there. Some say you have to, that's Kalya, man, right there. That's a Putana, man, trying to be an authority, man. Bam, bam, bam for you, man. Whoever said that. So what is the conclusive statement, man? It's the Lord God is Sat, Chit, and Ananda, and he's in a Vigraha. That's why you got to meet the empowered spiritual master who will tell you the conclusive truth. See, they're the Vigraha of real knowledge and real Ananda, and they're eternal and immortal persons because of it. They're empowered to wipe out that speculation of these are our teachers. There's so many like that. This is the Maya, man. They're putting on the dhotis and all these tilaks and all this stuff, acting like authorities, but they're no authorities when they come up with conclusions like that. Well, anyway, this is, whether he meant that or not, we can discuss that angle also. But there are people who talk like that when they're talking about knowledge. Give up knowledge to know. So, and I'll tell you what, that's not true either. Whoops. You don't give up knowledge of Krishna. What is this here? I got some kind of thing here. Okay, you don't give up knowledge of Krishna in order to get deeper love. That's not true anyway. If you even think give up knowledge, which you see, there's just different types of knowledge of Krishna. One is his opulent feature, and the other is his sweetness. Sweetness is also knowledge of Krishna. It's knowledge of his characteristics of Vrindavan, man. That's knowledge. That's the highest knowledge, is his sweet Madhurya characteristics in Vrindavan. But that's knowledge. Knowledge of Krishna is this sweetness. That's what we get in the glorification of the Lord in Chaitanya Leela also. That's our bridge to Vrindavan. See? And the person can't artificially give up knowledge of the opulence of Krishna, to taste the sweetness of Krishna. You can't artificially do that, because part of our progress is to make step by step attraction. That's why Prabhupada wrote his books, that describe the opulent feature as well as the Madhurya feature. It's both in there. So we can't jump just right into the Madhurya, and a lot of people try that. Can't do it. Because even, and they don't understand how it works. Even the gopis, they would tell Uddhava, tell us about Krishna's activities. And I got great pleasure hearing about them. You notice I'm reading 10th canto, and I get great pleasure also out of the fighting of Krishna and all that stuff, and all these interesting little innuendos in that, because it's nice to hear about Krishna, man. The gopis did. I also like this. But you also see that I like to hear Rupa Goswami's glorification of that. That's also that's especially wonderful. Lord Chaitanya showed the same example. He would hear about Prahlad's pastimes and get great ecstasy and bliss, and then he would also hear about the Madhurya and all that. So, a lot of these people who don't even taste the Madhurya, they're preaching all this other stuff that don't go in line with the examples of the devotees. Prabhupada also, he enjoyed all of it and relished all of it. And it's also all as important in one's preaching, because people just can't go into straight Madhurya. If it was so, then there would be no need for Chaitanya Leela and Chaitanya's devotees, because they teach a little bit that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's the opulence of the Lord. They teach that. Important to know that. See, you can't skip these steps and just go right into this. I see people doing that, or have done that, and they never make it. We're making it, man. Our path works here. Doesn't it? Working really good. Yeah. And of course, in the deeper levels, if you there's the conjugal mellow and everything. It's the deepest form of love. But who is qualified for that? Not many. What's happening? I'm trying to get this thing up. It's not going up for some reason. Uh-oh.
Excuse me, mate.
Oh, just a second, please. Okay, what? This? Oh, you need this? Oh, yeah.
Not be a minute, mate.
No.
There you
go.
You should get past Hey? Well, you like that, don't you?
Yeah. So we're doing.
Hey, you're supposed to wash your money, it's not a carpet.
Hey, are you washing the floor?
I'm washing the floor now, guys.
See you later on.
What?
Don't waste a beer.
You can do.
You couldn't mess that mouth anyway, could you?
I'm going up now, but it's coming out.
I'll come up back.
All right. Yeah, that's the bottom line. You have to see if you're making progress. I'm only here because I'm making progress. I feel it. You have to feel it. See, some people stay with stuff only because there's nowhere else to go, or they just because they're caught up in something, you know, like. But here it's based on inspiration, man, isn't it? It's like, hey, man, Krishna is supposed to be. I mean, if we're really doing Krishna consciousness, I mean, really doing it on the Raganuga level, then we should be attracted to being here with Guru and Krishna. It's like, hey, man, I'm more attracted to be here than anywhere else. Because, I mean, if this is the real spiritual potency, a lot of people on Vaishnavism, on that Vaidhi level, they're attracted to be there because they're afraid of hell, right? Oh, I don't want to go anywhere because, you know, I'll go to hell if I go out into this. Look at it. They got some knowledge and they see, well, look at this, man. You know, look at out there, man. Look at all these people. They don't have knowledge and they're going, you know, they're going to go out, you know, get some pious and impious stuff. And I don't want to do that because you got knowledge from Prabhupada's books on the Vaidhi level. But here, it's, you know, you can just go to the Vaidhi if you want, if you're afraid of hell. But here, to be here, you got to see that this something here is more attractive than this material world. Because I ain't preaching you're going to hell and everything. I don't even ask you what you're eating or not eating or anything. That's why people probably think it's a very dangerous place, man. The guy doesn't ask, what are you wearing? What are you eating? You know? What are you drinking? Okay, so this is Krishna's, and so to go to a place where you're not asked, what do you, and no big hard and fast rules. There must be something that's spiritual here, otherwise we become hedonists, right? If there was something not spiritual, if I was just not asking you, well, you got to follow this rule, that rule, and you're just here listening and following and listening, yeah, why aren't we all polluted? You know, we should. Right? That's because there's another level of purification here that's unknown to most devotees and people, especially people in the world, and even devotees. Okay? Okay? So that's the principles we teach, man. And that is devotion. That is bhakti, man. That's the enthusiasm of following this path. That's the uncommon road. Now, it's following the path of prema that awakens from hearing, chanting, and remembering the pastimes and the name, the qualities of Gaura and Krishna. See, and so. Not everybody is on the ecstatic platform, but you feel enlivened and you're making progress. So what if knowledge doesn't lead to love? One gathers knowledge for the sake of knowledge. Well, that's the wrong path, man. That means you need Shiksha Guru to set you straight, man. Even Bhakti Vinod Thakur told his highly intellectual son, Bhakti Siddhanta, he said, don't gather knowledge for knowledge's sake. Learn only enough for bhakti. See, that's the principle taught by Lord Chaitanya. It's the principle taught here. And so that's why as we're advancing, you can take the concise verses of the Bhagavatam. You see, there are verses in the Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita and devotees, and you relish the verses. That's knowledge, you know, and it unlocks devotion. Okay? So your knowledge gets condensed to the essence. And that's why you can relish a verse or a sentence or a word, and it awakens devotion in the heart. See? So that's the purpose of knowledge, is to attain Krishna Bhakti. And so it gets condensed like that. You don't need to read a whole big purport explain. Sometimes that actually gets in the way. That's why, there's the verses, and the purport helps us get there and understand it. But there's a point where you can relish the verses as they are, and they're very intoxicating on bhakti. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh, yeah, reading Bhagavatam. It's getting juicy, isn't it? I get the feeling the Lord's going to do some big work through us. Something really a legacy forming here. So the Shiva Shwara is the weapon of Lord Shiva, and he surrenders to Lord Krishna now because the Lord is more potent than him. I bow down to you of unlimited potencies, the Supreme Lord, the super soul of all beings. You possess pure and complete consciousness. And you are the cause of cosmic creation, maintenance, and dissolution. Perfectly peaceful, you are the absolute truth, to whom the Vedas indirectly refer. So you see the example here, these prayers? They're condensed forms of knowledge. See? You are the absolute truth to whom the Vedas indirectly refer, and this gives great bliss to devotees to hear this kind of knowledge. And that's knowledge. This is more the opulent aspect, but still it's very relishable. See? That's how it is, to get the ability to taste. So knowledge, see, that leads to devotion to Krishna is always good. These are eternal. It's like like Jesus said, heaven and earth pass away, but my words will not. See, the words that glorify the truth are eternal. They never pass away. See? They only become forgotten and are revived by the devotees. Time, fate, karma, the jiva and his propensities, the subtle material elements, the material body, the life air, false ego, the various senses, and the totality of these as reflected in the living being's subtle body. All this constitutes your material illusory energy. Your illusory material energy in Maya, and an endless cycle like that of a seed and a plant. I take shelter of you. With various intentions. Oh, you know what? I could move over there now. I'm going to move over here.
I'm doing the cleaning job and then go straight to the forest. In the kitchen. They start, the first match is Tuesday, the first day of March. And my boss, she's even going to give me a mistake.
Okay, about 5 minutes I can move over to my spot. It's a little noisy here.
You shouldn't come wait for that place at that time.
No. Yeah.
It used to
So
be
you
anyway.
can't get a bus out here every day. So
Yeah,
far.
you can't, you've got to get 2 buses for them, haven't you?
Yeah.
With various intentions, you perform pastimes to maintain the demigods and the saintly persons and the codes of religion for this world. By these pastimes, you also kill those who stray from the right path and live by violence. It's like Jesus taught, those who live by the sword will die by the sword. Indeed, your present incarnation is meant to relieve the earth's burden. I am tortured by the fierce power of your terrible fever weapon, which is cold yet burning. All embodied souls must suffer as long as they remain bound to material ambitions and adverse to serving your lotus feet. Isn't that amazing? The suffering in this world is just aversion to serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Isn't it wonderful that many of us, most of us here, realize that just by serving the Lord, we will attain God. We'll attain the kingdom of God. And how is that service practically? Chanting the holy names, taking shelter. That's the lotus feet of the Lord, are his holy names, his pastimes, his qualities, his character. See? He's the spotless glory of this world. See? Therefore, by committing to this path with heart and soul, see, and living amongst devotees, this is when if you feel this is your devotional family here, now you're understanding Krishna consciousness correctly. Otherwise not. If you're not associating with devotees who are on the ecstatic platform and relishing transcendental bliss and ecstasy like that, you're not in the eternal family yet. That means you're maybe in the demigod levels, of the mode of goodness, where you don't have attraction yet to the transcendental Shuddha Bhakti platform. And that shows up if you ever do find in some lifetime the association of such devotees who are relishing true transcendental bliss. It's not good enough just to be a devotee in the mode of goodness and just to be following rules and regulations. Look at that. Many people, one lady yesterday or man was criticizing what we're doing. See? It's not, and he's a devotee. See? He cannot go to the transcendental platform. He cannot go back to the spiritual world because you're judged by your deeds, man. If your deed in this world is criticizing ecstatic devotees, how can you go and live with ecstatic devotees in the next life? Because we're here to train people to help purify them so that they become less adverse to pure devotional service, ecstatic devotional service, ecstatic devotees. This is the eternal family. See? That's why it's unfortunate those who come and then leave. See? In other words, they're bewildered. Completely, this is bewilderment. To come here and to get ecstasy and then to leave is bewilderment. There's some kind of obstacle they're caught up in. So just know that, because they go often, every one of them that has left, they went somewhere else. They went, oh, we don't believe in this. Oh, well, if you don't believe in this, you don't believe in Shuddha Bhakti, because this is Shuddha Bhakti. And this is where you're going to learn about Shuddha Bhakti. If you go somewhere else and you start doing some devotional service, you're in the modes, man, or in some even liberation type level. That's a downer, man. You just went down. It's like Lord Brahma, he committed an offense to Krishna. And what happened? He goes to see Krishna and all he see was dazzling light. And then the servant of Krishna said, well, you can't see Krishna now because you committed an offense. Therefore now all you can see is God in his form as Brahman. Only the dazzling light. And Brahma was, That's what people do here. They come here, and if they leave for, usually it's Guru Aparat, they go out there and they see, oh yeah, the Guru Hari isn't doing the right thing. they see the dazzling light. Oh yeah, I'm into being selfless servants, or I just want to, get into Bhagavad Gita now. See, their realization goes down. So don't be fooled by it, because they're like a branch, like Jesus said, you leave and you depart from me. See, if you depart from a sangha of Shuddha Bhaktas, then you'll look like a devotee, like everybody that is left. They look like devotees, they speak like devotees, but they don't have transcendental life. And they're all back into the rules, heavy rules. Or you become a hedonist or something, or you don't even know, you don't have true knowledge. True knowledge is you got to be in line, in proper line. So don't be fooled, even though these priests might even squirt some tears, but they don't have proper knowledge, man. Because proper knowledge is the deed, man. You got to understand why Prabhupada said, don't do this to me. You never kick your Bhakti Guru away. Never, never, never. See? And if you act against that principle, that's your deed, man. You're an illusion, man. You're caught up in some obstacle. So don't be bewildered by people that do that. So the question is, Guru Maharaj, those who end up in Vaikuntha Lila, in Vaikuntha relationship, worshipping Krishna as God, are they ecstatic? Yes, they are. Definitely, it's very ecstatic to worship God. And especially now you're in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, you're not caught up. Here it's a problem. And that's why, to do like rules and regulations, everything is very hard to perfect. By being in like Veda Vyas was absorbed in transcendence by disciplinary action. Now he was, very, like a very super powerful renunciate. He could do that, but not everybody can do that. It takes a long time, many lifetimes. But in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, if you're taking there, yeah, it's definitely blissful, definitely ecstatic. I mean, you could read about these things in Srimad Bhagavatam. It gives some idea. And it says there are even PREMA devotees there. They have PREMA, but it's for on the level of the Lord's opulences causes a type of PREMA, devotion, PREMA, ecstasy. See, but they may not be stimulated by the sweetness of Krishna. They like to hear about the opulences. That's why they're there. That's why they like, unless you're like Narada Muni. Narada Muni goes everywhere. He likes to go amongst the demigods. He's a preacher, he likes to preach, man. He goes with his veena and he sings and he goes to Vaikuntha and preaches there, He does, he goes around the different universe. He go anywhere, man. People coming here, you're going to get the qualification to be able to do that very easily, actually, if that's what you want to do. Because you're following the same process Narada Muni did. The last life of Narada Muni, everybody here, if you're following the same process, he just heard the pastimes of the Lord from the sages and got purified and just continued chanting the holy name. And then when he died, just like lightning, he went to got his transcendental body. We're in that process, and it'll be a lot faster for people than for him, because he was not amongst, he did this alone. He didn't, he just started wandering after his mother died, wandering around alone chanting. Here we have the association of ecstatic devotees, man. That's why it's going really fast. You won't believe the result. That's why, people, if people that leave, it's like that verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita in the 12th chapter. People leave because of ungratefulness, not knowing, because there's some obstacle in the heart. They become ungrateful, right? Because what's happening here is the greatest boon It's the greatest mercy that's available in this world, man. And to get this, to taste this, and then to go, oh my God. That's why you see such great suffering in those who do it. Their consciousness goes way down. It's unfortunate, but you know, some people go that route. Here we're following right in the course of Bhagavatam in the last life of Narada Muni and more. Because here, it's not just Narada Muni going around chanting, purifying himself. Here you got the association of devotees, we got Sankirtan, we got Lord Chaitanya. That was before Lord Chaitanya's advent. The results going to be here are going to be magnified so much. And to leave here is the stupidest thing in the world. But anyway, people need to do it. Sometimes it's just a lot of stuff going on. And eventually they'll come back. Maybe not in this life, but in another life they'll work it out. Because the Lord wants to help everybody. And this is a very deep thing, big thing. I'm trying my best to explain everything as best as I can. You know, as best as the Lord inspires me to. So that we can cut our losses, you know, so that we don't have to lose so many people. You know? Because it's a battlefield. Prabhupada knew that. He said, you know, people were coming and going. Prabhupada said, hey, don't be surprised if people leave. Be surprised if they stay. See? But look, but that's been turned around. Now we're preaching this level, and it's surprising when people leave because it's so much juice here. So the same ecstatic we are talking about in Vraja Lila, no, it's not the same ecstasy. The ecstasy in Vraja Lila is stimulated by the sweetness of God, and that makes it a deeper ecstasy. Okay? But you can't jump into that. You can't jump into that. Prabhupada knew that, he taught that. I mean, people now can't jump. You need a little bit of everything. That's the way Lord Chaitanya lived. We need to know about the opulences of the Lord and His sweetnesses, and it all in the wash. I mean, because even the devotees were taught. They saw the Lord's opulence. You know, the Lord would pop into the Supreme Lord. See? If it wasn't necessary, why would the Lord would also show Himself as the Supreme Lord and show His mood of Vaikuntha and other moods? Okay? Because it's important. And that's why we teach like that too. There's so many people speculating, want you to jump into this Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. I'm not into that. You know, I jump into Radhe. You can see, look at all kinds of amazing things happening here. Look at all the abilities we got here growing. You know, can go and relish Radha Bhav, man, and Gopi Bhav, and Manjari Bhav. You know, but also preach in practical ways everything that's needed to be understood. It's amazing, actually. And you'll see in future time, people it takes a while for them to wrap their heads around what we're preaching. It is so astounding and so far-reaching. You know? Okay, still haven't gotten much into these verses yet. Anyway, sometimes it's like that. So all embodied souls must suffer as long as they remain bound to material ambitions and thus adverse to serving their feet. See, material ambitions. And that goes for, if you're in a sangha of devotees and they've got material ambitions, they want to be guru. You want to be equal to guru and stuff like that. There's suffering involved in that. That's why sometimes I'll say something and it causes the suffering to come to a head. You know, it's like when you got a boil, there's poison in there, right? It's a big red thing, but there's no head. Therefore, the poison doesn't come out. Guru brings it to a head. So it's got that little white thing, and then the poison pops out. So the suffering sometimes seems to intensify. See? And then it pops. Okay? Because if it's in there, it's in there, you know. So sometimes I may comment, and that commenting, it brings that poison boil to a head. See, so the white thing, and then you pop it, and then it comes out. And then you're free of it. Because if you die with that poison inside your subtle consciousness, subtle body, then you take that body with you into your next existence. You'll be covered by that. Trippy, huh? See? And so the way you get over that fault is adverse to serving your lotus feet. And so proof of aversion is when the Lord provides deliverance in the form of a bona fide guru, you're adverse to their association. That's aversion. See, otherwise you're just one of these Krishna devotees in name only. Oh, Krishna, Krishna, Radhe, Radhe, Nittai, Nittai. But you don't like Nittai and Krishna's servants. They're servitors in this world. They're rare, of course, but you know, when they appear, and if you're adverse to them, that's your real consciousness. You're not purified. And you can go Radhe, Radhe, Radhe this and all of that, or Nittai, Nittai this and that, and then if you die without appreciating their association and taking shelter of it, you don't get purified of that. That's why they're here, is to purify these subtle coverings of persons who are just show bottle devotees. You know what show bottle is? Oh, look at me, Radhe Krishna, Radhe, look, worshiping the being and everything. And then the devotee, you come before the devotee, and you think, who are you, man? You can't see that you're going to get Krishna through that devotee. An empowered devotee delivers your sorry ass. See? It gets you over hypocrisy. Oh, Radhe Krishna, this and that. See? But yet, inside, you're not purified or qualified to serve Radha and Krishna. Otherwise, you would be ecstatic chanting the holy name. So you got to associate with ecstatic chanters, man, who chant the name and the pastimes and qualities of the Lord in ecstasy. Because if you don't like that association, you're just show bottle, man. You're just putting on a show and all that. When you die, you're not qualified to associate with ecstatic devotees because you won't do it here. This is the test. We're the test, man. People who come into our Sangha are getting their subtle clothes washed and taken away. That's whatever's in the way. See, emptied out. Okay? And then we become ecstatic here, you'll become ecstatic there. What you bind on earth, you bind in spirit. So if you bind devotion here, you bind that in the next life. Okay? That's eternal. That's our spiritual bank account. Okay? And that's why the devotees are here. They're the test for the world, man. Oh, you're worshiping Krishna? Well, the Lord says, okay, let's see how far you've progressed. Here's the test. Here's a devotee from the spiritual world empowered with real bhakti. How do you like them? Do you like their association? You like to hang out with them? No, but I'm worshiping Krishna. See? No, you're not. You're a hypocrite. See, like that pastime. Midikitam Ramdas. He's a servant of Nityananda, man. He is Nityananda's potency and bliss and knowledge and ecstasy in the form of his servant. See? Just like the prayers River Yamuna was reading today about Nityananda, that's the bona fide servant of Nityananda. That's the bona fide guru. They are like that. They make Krishna really clarify who Krishna is and what he is. They make hearts attracted to Krishna. That's bona fide servant of Nityananda. And it's not like you're going to just see that Nityananda there. You're going to see those qualities in a real guru, man. They're going to match those qualities. They're going to make your heart attracted to Krishna. Yeah, they're gonna bring that aversion out. Isn't that what Nityananda did? A lot of these Brahmins, they couldn't take his association. They ran the other way. It's like here, people, they run the other way, or they think they know everything about devotional service, and they can't even listen to our videos. One video could clear them of 50 years of bullshit they've been listening to from people who don't know anything about bhakti yet. One video, and they can't even listen to that. Yeah, and they'll go out and they'll say, "Oh, listen to me, I'm such an authority. Yes, you do what Prabhupada said and all this, and he's not following and all this, that." And they have no idea. They're just talking out of their hats. Okay? And what they're really saying underneath it all, I'm adverse to association with ecstatic devotees. That's what Krishna's saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you're still adverse to associating with Krishna. Oh, that poison's coming out. Well, that's okay. Maybe down the line in this life, if you're lucky, you'll see that we're really honest and truthful and ecstatic and where you need to be, because it's very rare to find such devotees in this world. So Balaram says, Guru Maharaj, so what exactly is this Christian ecstasy we talked about? Sounds like we should just just run there, get touched by one, and boom. But looks not. Yeah, well, you see, this is the problem with the Christian stuff. It's mixed. See, they're like, also could be like devotees that come to Krishna, and from their past life, they have some bhakti awakens, but they don't have the knowledge. And so all kinds of weird things happen. Usually they'll lose it. So the same thing in the Christian thing. I could show you right now, there are persons that, like one guy you're probably thinking about, he's a preacher, and he's dealing with a lot of problems they got, man. They're preaching this apasampradaya stuff that we call apasampradaya. They're preaching that you can do anything you darn please, and they're acting hedonistically, having sex all kinds with multiple partners, and I mean just really being radical. And they're calling, oh well, we can do anything we want in the name of grace, all kinds of stuff. You see? Because they don't have proper understanding, proper knowledge in Siddhanta, proper purification. It's mixed in with their stuff that they justify and all that. See? So they need knowledge, man. If they want to advance, a lot of them have some ecstasy, but you could see some of them and they can even transmit some ecstasy. The Majjhimadhikari, you can usually even come to the point of transmission, but they mix it with politics and all kinds of stuff. It's just all mixed in there with all kinds of stuff. No, we shouldn't run there. We should run here. You want to be here, you'll get a balanced meal here. This is where they need to run, and some are coming here and learning. Yeah, and they end up losing. A lot of times they lose the ecstasy because of bad association, not having proper theology. So anyway, I tried to preach to some ecstatic devotees, but it doesn't usually work unless they have to kind of realize it, because they're not open. They say Jesus all the way, and the way it'll happen someday is they get fed up with just all this problems they're getting, because the problems keep coming. They're not getting over them. See? There's a lot of hypocrites and liars and cheaters in Christianity, just like in Christianism. They're not getting over Putana and Kalya and all of this. See? Anyway, the opportunity is here now in this Sangha. There's an amazing grace coming through here. Just whoever takes advantage of it, wonderful. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, yeah, it's good. The ecstasy is good, but you need knowledge. So what is that ecstasy? With who? What relationship and with who? Okay, so the ecstasy itself is because Jesus Christ is an ecstatic personality, okay? And those who surrender to Jesus through disciplic line, their line, it's not a clear line because there's, even our line is not clear because people have lost all kinds of stuff. There's always some kind of anarthas, dealing with them in these lines here. So anyway, Jesus is ecstatic devotion, and in the line, this ecstasy is around. So people, they have some ecstasy, but they don't have clear siddhanta. If they had the siddhanta, I mean, it's helped me. I was ecstatic from the very beginning, but the only problems I had was not being clear through life experience and the knowledge portion of knowledge, portion of God, and that's in the Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Lila teachings. So, that's why, obviously Prabhupada told me to start preaching these things, because now it's helping us all get clear about these things more and more. It's great. We're broadcasting on two things, on YouTube and Facebook Live. So we're recording on both, so I don't have to upload. So it's good. So I got this other camera here. This other camera working. Isn't that great, Balaram? Going right up there. So anyway, is this amazing? I mean, we're so fortunate. So the Supreme Lord said, "O three-headed one." I mean, 2 for 1, yeah, 2 for 1. It's so great to have these books, man. It's just some endless deepening of understanding of Krishna. This is the jewels and the gold and the pearl Jesus was talking about. So the Supreme Lord said, "O three-headed one, I am pleased with you. May your fear of my feeble weapon be dispelled. And may whoever remembers our conversation here have no reason to fear you." See? Now Lord Shiva represents who? Maya. See? And whoever remembers our conversation, and that goes for all the conversations of the Lord. Whoever remembers the conversations of devotees with God, all of these things reach the Shuddha Bhakti level, and there'll be no fear for that person. You go over this, you go beyond this worship in awe and reverence and fear of God. See? So this is the path. This is the path I'm teaching here, is taking shelter of the conversations of the Lord and his devotees. That is the essence of the truth. How to do that. Because when you start to feel ecstatic doing that, when you start to feel protected doing that, when you start to feel inspired doing that, when you start to feel blissfully ecstatic doing that, See? Now you're on the highest level of devotional service. That's happening here and now with many devotees. Look how fast it's going here. If you just get inspired hearing about topics of Krishna, why do you think I'm talking here so much? Because it inspires me. First, I have to be inspired. It makes me ecstatic, and then those who come and listen, if you start believing in what we're talking about, then you will be ecstatic also. You'll be enlivened also. You'll be inspired also. You'll feel protected also. See? And you'll be uplifted also. See, the conversations that Maharaj Parikshit had with Shukadev Goswami were inspiring to the speaker as well as listeners. They were both uplifted. Both attained the supreme result of devotion to Krishna, devotion to God. Both attained devotional perfection. So when you become a disciple of a bona fide guru, as they are, so you become. You become a real devotee also. Real, not just a name only. You know, that's how I know if a person is a devotee in name only. How do you feel about our preaching here? You like it? Yeah. You think you know more than what's going on here? Yeah, I do know. Okay. That's how I know. Oh, you're just a devotee in name only. You're still showbottle, putting on a show, a devotional service, but you don't like the ecstatic devotees the Lord empowers to deliver others. You don't want to be part of that team. Oh, you'll just remain showbottle until you're ready to understand what we're talking about here. In some life, better this life if you can do it. Okay, I'm going to take a break now. Hare Krishna, everybody. Cool. Madhusudana, why don't you go up and do something now? Why don't you give some little talk? Why don't you share some realizations? I'd like to hear also like how you're feeling now and what this impact of this Sangha is in your life. You can do some of that and read Chaitanya Leela or something. Or you too, Balaram. Whoever is more inspired to get up and do it, do something. I'll be watching. Thank you.